Over the last few days, the thing that's really been on my mind is value and how we define value and how we can create value. And not in the sense of doing things for other people. I know that sometimes I get lumped in with people who are always giving advice and they're always talking about delivering value to other people. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about value in terms of being a consumer of something. I think there's how much something costs, there's the price of something, which is the price that you pay, and then there's the value, which is like a secret third thing for a lot of people. Farcaster, over the last few months, has been somewhat pivoting to being a more wallet-focused application as opposed to being social media focused. They apparently think that they can't find a way to bridge social media through their platform. It's not my problem. I'm not going to build my own, so whatever. But with that in mind, it got me thinking about how artists might have an opportunity on there. For those who don't know, Farcaster has this thing called mini apps, which is essentially an app that runs within the platform, and anybody can make them. I've made a few myself. I made actually one of my last album. You can just open it up in Farcaster and listen to the album while you browse the social network. If we're putting the wallet first, then artists have to think about the wallet first. The trouble with that is that value is somewhat of a social agreement. Value is this idea of what something's worth that's not necessarily based on how much it costs to make. I'm wearing shoes I paid $300 for. I bought them in 2016, the Red Jordan 1, wonderful shoe. And I've worn them all the time. They haven't left my sneaker rotation since then. So to me, the shoe is worth $300. There are some people who think that the value of something is only based in what you can sell it for to someone else. And that is a form of value, but that's not necessarily value that we deliver as creators. A lot of times the value that we're looking for is in the form of connection. It's in the form of a story. It's in the form of use, how we use it, how much we use it, what it represents when we use it, what it represents just to have it. I think that fashion is always such a great representation of value because fashion in itself is a conversation between the person wearing the thing and the person observing the thing. Art a lot of times can be the same, the person creating the thing and the person observing the thing. I think that it gets too caught up in the market and not enough up in the personal value of things. I feel like we spend so much time on the internet and consuming things that we've really lost this idea of what we personally like. Remember when everyone was talking about personal style and getting your own personal style and developing your personal style and developing your own taste? It's funny because that wasn't a thing we had to do before social media. It just happened before social media. I'm very interested in seeing how people on the internet in this hyper creator, hyper democratized period can find space. If we're looking at a world where every artist is moving their audience into these private spaces, into these dark forests, there's going to be a threshold. You're only going to be able to afford to like 5 artists. You're only going to be able to afford to do a certain amount of things in order to keep artists up. As artists, what do we do? The answer is somewhere in this value thing I'm talking about. I think people are trying to manufacture value by acting authentic, by fortifying connection, by emotional storytelling. And while that might be right in a short term, it feels like the last few months of Yards has kind of been exploring where to go next as an artist, thinking about offline being the new online, thinking about private spaces being the new town hall, thinking about alternative ways to sell things, alternative ways to make things, alternative way to present things. I think at the end of the day, it's about creating value in the things that you make, creating value with the things that you make, putting a price on it, I guess, getting it out to the world. I feel like this is another week with no answers and more questions, but this was front of my mind since everyone has been losing their mind about Farcaster this weekend. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time.